Hi guys, if you chose to go ahead and do my recorded lesson, I have added some pre-drawn Frida faces for you guys to use. I just want you to practice the coloring and cutting aspect, and then you can go ahead and add your flowers. If this is the one that you choose to do, again, you can find them right here, and it should open a folder to 4 different Frida faces. You can choose one and print it out, cut it or color it first, then cut it and follow the steps in the video. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to color my Frida. I'm going to color the small circle black because remember that's the pupil. I'm going to color her eyebrow and her hair black because that's what color they were. Okay. And while we're coloring, let's take a moment to talk about our strokes. So if you color like this and you want to get more done at a time, it's going to end up sloppy. What I say is that your arm stays put and just your wrist moves. And if you can't reach a spot to color by doing this, then you have to lift up your crayon and set your hand down or your wrist down in a different spot. My strokes are all going in a diagonal motion. Some people like to do it up and down, some people like to do it sideways. But all of my strokes are going in the same direction instead of up and down, sideways, diagonal. I'm trying to do them all the same direction, okay? And if you go out of the lines a little bit on the top of her head, it's okay because we are cutting this out. And you can go ahead and color her skin, her mouth, the iris part of her eyes. I believe her eyes were brown. Her skin was a darker complexion, so I might use this brown for her skin. And you can color the necklace whatever color you want, and then we'll talk about the next step. All right, great. So I'm done coloring, and what we're going to do next is get our scissors and our black paper. I'm going to cut just the outside line. So her neck, her shoulder and her neck, all the way up around her ear and top of her head. And I'm going to glue my Frida portrait down on my black paper. Now, since I don't have a body, it ends here, I can't glue it like this because then it would look like her head is floating. I want to make sure that I'm gluing it down at the bottom, and the bottom of Frida's neck or shoulder is lining up with the bottom of my black paper. If you remember from the Van Gogh lesson, when we glue things down, we're not putting glue on the base paper. In this case, the black paper is the base paper. Instead, we're going to put it on the smaller piece that goes on top. So I'm going to flip this over and put some glue, not too much, but also enough on the edges so the edges don't curl up. Okay, basically I'm tracing the outside edge. I'm going to do a little bit in the middle. And remember, I'm going to not leave it up here. I want to make sure that I line up the bottom edges as best as possible. Awesome. Now, often when you see portraits of Frida, she has flowers in her hair, like a flower crown. So what we're going to do today is we're going to cut out various shapes to make a flower crown similar to this. So I used green triangles to represent leaves or foliage, and then I used various colored circles to just represent flowers. You can use whatever shapes you would like to make your Frida flower crown. So I'm going to cut a couple triangles, different sizes. Great. I might come back and do more later. Then I'm going to cut a couple circles. I might put two pieces of paper together and cut two at the same time. Now, a lot of my friends have a hard time cutting circles, and so do I sometimes. It doesn't have to be perfect, and sometimes I try to make it perfect and I end up with a much smaller circle than I had intended. I'll show you what I mean. So I'm like, oh no, I actually went in too far, and I end up keep getting smaller and smaller, and that's totally fine. That can be like the center part of your flower. No big deal. Also, if you cannot cut out a circle, just make an organic shape. It's kind of, circular, if you will. Totally fine. A lot of my friends are going to want to take the pencil and draw a circle. Please, let's try not to do that. This is a skill that I want you to master. I want you to be able to cut without having a line to cut on. Just keep practicing. Oh, see, this one went smaller than I thought it was going. Oops, no big deal. Let's see, a couple more and then I can start placing them. So I'm going to arrange the flower crown shapes before I actually glue them down, so I can get an idea of what I want. I don't want to have to glue something down and then wish that I had put something somewhere else. So I kind of want to get a feel of how I want to do this. I maybe want a couple more smaller circles. Maybe over here. Oopsie. What do you think so far? It's looking pretty good. Okay, I'm gonna actually find some white paper. I'm gonna scraps again. It's the white paper that I just cut out her face from. And I'm going to make some smaller white circles to put inside of my yellow and pink flowers. So we can put that one there. And put this one here. All right, I think I'm ready to go ahead and glue it down. But remember, I'm not putting glue on the black paper. I'm going to put it on the small scraps of paper. It's going to be a little difficult though, so I think what I'm going to do is slide it out and hope I remember. I might actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to arrange my individual flowers first by putting the smaller circle glued on top. And then it'll make my overlapping make more sense. Okay, let's see. Over here. That one looks like a reverse egg. Okay. Boom. Okay, so now I can start gluing my, I think that this one is about right here. And I'm just going to kind of glue it around, I think. Let's see if this works. Okay. I'm going to tuck this one underneath. Great. So this is a modified lesson of something I do in the classroom. Oops, and I'm excited to see how this one turns out because I absolutely love the one that I do in the classroom. And I think that this one's going to be just as cool. Actually, I think I'm going to put this one on top. I don't know why. And I can tuck my leaves. So there she is, my portrait of Frida. I did this one earlier, and I did this one. So I wanted to do two of them to show you that they look like the same assignment, but they are both very different. This face is longer because I just drew it longer, and the flowers are different, but they both are extremely successful, and they both remind me of Frida Kahlo, which is the artist we're studying. So once you're done with yours, you're going to write your name and class code on a piece of paper, or if you want to type up and print out a label, it's something that I'm going to have you use on all of your assignments, and you're just going to set it down on your paper, first name, last name, class code, and then take a photo and upload the photo and send it to me on Schoology. Your parents can email it to me. I think you can email it to me as well. But take a photo. I would love to see it on Instagram with the hashtag BestKidsArt. And I will share it on our school Instagram. So just to show you an example of what I'm looking for, I did a student name. So first name, last name, and then class code. So this student is in 3rd grade, and the student's homeroom teacher is Miss Wood. This student is in kindergarten, and her homeroom teacher is Miss Hebert. So this really helps me to keep track of all of your artwork, and I can't wait to see it.